right, so we've got the Sunday evening thoughts heading into this upcoming trading week, the week of February 14th. So pretty much what we got, we just had futures open, fresh open here. It's basically done nothing, slightly red from Friday's close. The big thing to remember about futures, guys, right now, let me get rid of these alerts. The big thing to remember is the same technicals are in play now that were in play over the past 2 weeks straight, okay? We had a long consolidation period here between the channel of, let's just say 42.70, right, and 43 or 44.35. 42.70 and 44.35. You see, we just ping-ponged between this level this whole time. So we just broke below that level. If we don't reclaim that 44.30, 44.35 tonight, right, into the open tomorrow, the next logical demand is going to be the bottom of this channel. Whether we get there or not, who knows? But that's going to be the next macro demand people are going to reference, especially from the bear's perspective that we double top this 45.80 and then rolled to a lower high, rejected that 45.20 and then sold it off. That is sketchy. That's sketching out a lot of people. You can see that the theme of the bulls being uncertain and being worried play out here on the VIX. You saw that we ran from essentially 1990s all the way to 31 in 2 days, okay? So the VIX is elevated. The VIX is over 20. That's definitely not going to boost confidence for the bulls. It sold off a good bit from the highs, but if we don't gap this up now, we could open back right over 30, no doubt, heading into tomorrow's session. So that's something to keep in mind. And what do I think the ES is going to do? My perspective is as long as we're over this 42.70, I'm looking at that higher low, that daily higher low idea. It could be anywhere over 42.70, make the daily higher low, and head back to test that 45.80. That's what I'm eyeing for. However, just keep in mind, the closer we get to March and that Fed meeting, I think the sketchier the market could get. But I think this is a little bit premature ahead of that meeting and ahead of those hikes. So I'm watching it for the dip long opportunities. My hope is that we continue to sell off tonight and just get murdered. So tomorrow morning, there's going to be a lot of emotion off that open. There's going to be a lot of volatility, and I'm looking to scoop some of these beta names until macro demand. If we gap up, I'm probably not going to do anything. You could short supply, but given how beaten down beta's been, you can just look at Apple, for example. I mean, if we gap up, you could short the 169, right? But I mean, we're down so much in 2 days, we might just go straight to 171. I'd rather just buy the flush. So that's what I'm going to be looking at tomorrow. If we open sideways, I'm watching those macro levels I'm going to identify here in a moment, and look for a test of those to hold or a flush of those to get long. And that's pretty much my thoughts right now. The bulls have been extremely resilient, and yes, we're seeing downside rotation, but once we form that higher low and we trap all these heavy shorts, we're just going to be right back over 500 is my thoughts. So I'm going to jump into just the main beta. We'll start with the VIX because the VIX is up. A nice move on the VIX. Any move up over 34, I start getting interested to sell those 37.50s, 40s, or 40s and 42.50s call verticals. We're not there, and if the ES holds here or goes up, VIX is going to get killed. Ideally, VIX rips up over 32 tomorrow, right, towards 34, 35. ES, it opens in the 43.60s, 43.70s, okay? And then that's where the long comes in. ES gets that reclaim of 4,400, and the VIX gets crushed. That would be like the perfect scenario for me. We'll see if that actually happens or not. I'm going to start at the top here with Apple. From the macro wise, we had the consolidation back here, breakout, double top reject essentially, rolled back down into the previous channel just like ES. Next demand is decent, 166.50, okay? Then 165, 164. Those are the watches. So depending on how we gap, that's what I'm going to be watching. Below 165 or 164, I'm looking at 160 small reference and 157.50. Same idea as the others. What I want you to keep in mind here as we flip through charts, look at these reference lows and look at how far the beta name is below this reference consolidation period in relation to these highs, and you'll be able to see which beta names had the most outsized downside move compared to the Qs and the SPY, and which are holding the strongest, right? And that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at different names to bounce. Amazon, okay? pulling back in here. It's below at 3,100. It closed down at 30.58. I'm very interested in this. It had a bullish earnings reaction, right? It saw rejection there around 3,200, 3,277, and now we're at 30.58. But I mean, it's going to gap down, right? If the ES gaps down, it's going to gap down. So here's the levels to watch: 30.50 could be support or resistance depending on where we open at. 3,000 and 2,900. Okay. Chances are, I'm going to look for the wash long on Amazon. Even if we open below 3,000, I'm going to look for that 3,000 reclaim, depending on how big the ES gaps down. This name, I was watching the tape all day, and while it did sell off from a percentage basis, it wasn't as heavy as other beta. Like, for example, Amazon closed down 4%, while AMD closed down 10%. That would be a good thing to note. And the tape on Amazon, especially on prior days. Okay, so for example, you see how Thursday on the 10th, Amazon was sideways? Let me jump to Apple here. Let me jump to Apple here and look at how Apple performed. Apple was selling off hard. NVIDIA sold off hard that day. AMD, sold off hard that day. Microsoft sold off hard that day. Amazon was sideways, okay? And the tape on this downtrend, looked like it was slowly unwinding. So there was a steady ask, but there was a steady bid coming in there. There wasn't any violence, right? From my perspective, it still closed down 4%. So just keep that in mind. I'm very interested in Amazon as we approach that 3,000 and anywhere in this range, pretty much. Washout long. Oh, here's the ES. ES testing that 4,400 there. We'll keep an eye on it. But that's my thoughts on Amazon. So Amazon is going to be top of the list looking for the long side tomorrow, as long as we gap down. If we gap up, there ain't going to be much. I'm probably finding AMD. Keep in mind, if you're trading AMD today, NVIDIA has earnings on Wednesday, which could influence this chart. AMD down 10% yesterday, and even more if you include the highs. Insanity, guys. 127 to 112. I played this multiple times on the long side on Friday, and I plan to do the same coming up into tomorrow's session. So reference points for AMD, 110, 108, 100, right? 105 is okay, but I mean, if we get down that low, we're probably going to hit 100. So that's what I'm watching for. I want this similar bias as Amazon. I want to see this washout long setup for AMD for that bounce move, and this thing is setting up nicely. Very weak. And one of the important things to note, I posted the flow in my chat room, was that out of all the beta names Friday that got crushed with just bear sweeps and everything, AMD had a like 99% bullish dominance on this call side sweeps, which was very impressive given the heavy tape. I mean, you see a blue chip basically, not real, but you see what I'm saying, drop 10% in a day, right? That's pretty significant, and the people are going to be watching that, and people have made bullish bets on this. I'll show them to you just real quick, because I got my flow algo up here on the other screen, and I'll just pull this up here before I take care of it. So you saw 2.7 million in the AMD call side, right? Now check this out. You see Apple here, you see Tesla here, you see NVIDIA here. There's no AMD on this bearish flow, okay? But over here on the call side, it's at 2.7. Tesla right here had way more bearish volume. NVIDIA here had way more bearish volume. Apple, way more bearish volume. But AMD, check this out. This is why I'm so interested in AMD. This is why I pay for this service every month. Let me pull it up. Give me just a second here. Get this screenshot for you guys. Actually, I said 99%. Yeah, check out this AMD flow, okay? Look at that. Look at that. So AMD, nothing but, I mean, except this guy, but I mean, that was for the 11th. Nothing but bullish flow throughout the day. I'm very interested, particularly in these swing sweeps. Now, given they have some time on them, okay? They have some time on them, but that is kind of the reason why I'm looking to buy AMD. Don't worry about these for the 11th. The question is, will we see similar bullish flow come in tomorrow? If the same sort of bias remains on AMD. We'll see, but that's what I'm watching for. I'll jump over to Microsoft here. Microsoft's selling down. Haven't traded this one as much lately. it doesn't mean it can't produce a trade. 290 and 285 are good reference levels for the demand. Which ones have I forgetting? Facebook. I haven't traded this in a while. Wake me up at 200 is pretty much how I feel. If we get below, yeah, if we get below, 215, 214, let me know. But when we get to 200, I might look at taking a decent swing long side position. But right now, so far, all the call buyers from the past week after that negative earnings response, everybody's underwater. So it can go lower. It can definitely see lower. I'll show you guys the flow real quick from Friday. I just pulled it up. Here's the flow from Friday on Facebook. And you can just see a lot of people rolling in. Just, again, take out these 11ths because that was Friday's expiration. You can see there's some money looking in the February 18th and the March 18th, 195s, 210s. And then we have a bull side call here for March. Interesting. So we'll see where Facebook sets up. I would really love to see it flush those people out. Let's see it get down to 215, 210, 205, 200. Get the long, and let's see it rebound back to 215. Then you're sitting in the driver's seat on those calls. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And I'm trying to think what else. What other names? What name am I forgetting here? I got AMD, I got Apple, I got Microsoft, I got AMD, I got Nvidia. I guess I'll chart Tesla here. So Tesla, I haven't traded this one recently. Heavy sideways consolidation and broke to the downside, broke demand. The next macro demand, 840 and 800. 820 is a reference. So basically anywhere between 800 and 840. 800, 820, 840. Those are your reference demands. I'm probably not going to trade Tesla, guys. It's been a difficult ticker for me to trade. It's so much easier just to trade like Amazon or something like that, I found, just in the way the premiums have been moving. However, that doesn't mean there is an opportunity on Tesla. Tesla at 800 is a very good watch, especially if we get to 800 and snap that and head back to this breakout line at like 750. I'm definitely interested. 800 and 750, I'll become more interested in taking a bullish Tesla position. Oh, SPY, please snap 4400. Flush them out. Flush them out. Don't stop until 9:30 tomorrow. So that's pretty much all I got, guys, for my thoughts here on the beta names and the ES heading into tomorrow. If you're interested in joining my chat room, there's information in the description box below. Also for my mentorship program, if you need one-on-one coaching, we can talk about that. And Monkey here, do you have any questions? Shoot them over in the Discord or the Twitch chat if you've got any. After that, I'm just going to go ahead and end this stream and just watch this futures session. And I think I got all the names I wanted to look at too. There used to be a lot of stuff I used to trade, like Zoom, Roku, Netflix. What else did I used to trade? Beta names. I just haven't paid attention to them, guys. I've really narrowed it down and just focused on these, and it's been perfectly fine doing that. There's been a lot of opportunity. Just narrow your focus into just a few beta. Like Roku was like my top name back in 2018, 2019. I don't even trade Roku anymore. I haven't even looked at the chart. Ooh, about to snap 4400. Yeah, I mean, I don't even trade. Now there's range. You can trade Roku. Heck yeah. I think it has earnings this week, so be careful on that. Wait, yeah, it definitely has earnings this week, so keep that in mind. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Continue to stay focused on developing that Bob mentality, which is that trading mentality where you learn to eliminate your emotions so that you can trade like a machine, guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.